Hey guys and gals, Mike Cricket 113. I just want to try to explain to you guys what the maximum usable frequency is and why it's important to pay attention to. If you're an amateur radio operator and you haven't heard this frequency, pay attention if you're new. Or if you're an 11 meter operator and you have no idea what I'm talking about, pay attention. Maximum usable frequency, we'll quote here from Wikipedia. In radio transmissions, maximum usable frequency, MUF, is the highest radio frequency that can be used for a transmission between 2 points on Earth by reflection from the ionosphere, skywave, or skip at a specific time, dependent on transmitter power. This index is especially useful for shortwave transmissions. So getting to that, meaning, so if the MUF, pay attention to solar data, if the MUF is, say, well, this was taken, this map here, and I'll put a link in this video. This was at 15:30 today. So that's, that was about 11:30 this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. So if you look here, let me zoom in on the United States, and we'll get over to Europe in a minute. Sorry about the shaky cam here. You'll see that this says 25. What does that mean? 25, that means 25 megahertz. So that means if you're on 15 meter from up here in Maine all the way down to California, and into Europe, you're pretty much going to be able to work states, work countries. If you're on 17 meter, you may be able to work states and countries. If you're on 20 meter, which is 14 megahertz, you may be able to work states and countries. So anything under 25 megahertz, you should be able to work states and countries, depending on solar conditions. There's a lot, depending on power. Obviously, it's stated there in Wikipedia, but, you know, I've worked stations when the MUF was right under the MUF with 20 watts or less. So it really depends on a lot of factors. Listening to the band or maybe calling CQ is another way to test to see if there's a band opening. But the MUF is a good general idea to see if there are conditions allowable for HF-DX communications. So as you can see in Europe here, up in Sweden, Norway area, it's 21 megahertz, so that's 15 meter right there. So anything under 15 meter will work. You got the 20s, 19 megahertz or so, so 20 meter into this northern part of Europe is probably going to be fine. And then also in Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, 27 megahertz, 28 megahertz. So you may be able to do some 11 meter skip over into Italia right now, Italy or whatever. But obviously 20 meter would be your best bet in your most crowded area where you'd find a lot of operators. Also down here in South America, you got 31 megahertz, 26, 25, so any of the bands I just mentioned. But if you go over to Australia, where it's nighttime now, you'll notice there's 12, 14, 16, 10, 11, and 12 meter, or megahertz. So if you're in this general region, or even in this country, or say you're in New Zealand trying to talk to the Aussies over there, you're probably going to be a safe bet on 40 meter right there. 40 meter or even 60 meter would probably be your best. So whatever number you see, you always want to go to the band that's closest to that, but under that number. I hope this helps. Once again, I'll put a link in the description for this particular website. This is Mike Cricket 11373, and enjoy the last day of this weekend.